All right. Hey, Positive Painter. So I'm Stephanie Weaver, fine art artist, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm streaming live. And so what is happening is, so this month of December, is in the Positive Painter community, a challenge to paint a Christmas candy still life, right? So one of the things that I did to help facilitate that challenge of creating Christmas candy still life is I created a course. It's just a 5-day course that shows you the complete life cycle of setting up a still life. So when you think about setting up a still life, there are quite a few components that actually go with that, and I'll walk you through each one step by step, starting even with creating a still life light box and how to use it in 3 different ways using what you have around your house. So, and I also show you how to create a viewfinder, what to consider when you're putting your still life together, and so on. So there's 5 days of really good stuff. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dedicating hopefully 2 hours to painting an actual still life. And this is one that I photographed in preparation for that course. So this is one of them. I'll show you. So yeah, this is a little Christmas candy chocolate. This is what I'm doing with hot chocolate. And one of the interesting things about this one is not actually hot chocolate. I put water in there and then put the whipped cream on top. So you don't have to make everything. And there's even like things that I'm going to exclude from this still life in my painting itself, because as I was drawing it out, I just didn't like it. So anyway, lots of good stuff there happening. So I'm going to be painting this. I don't anticipate actually finishing it today. But I figured it'd be fun to kind of share this with you, and I am going to be painting live. I'm going to put in my earbuds because unfortunately the way that YouTube works is I can't share music with you. So I'm going to be listening to music in my ears. If you have questions, please feel free to post the questions. I will answer them later once things have kind of calmed down with the painting area, because I'm going to try and just focus on that. It's probably a little bit different than what you're used to with other YouTubers doing this sort of thing. I don't really know. So anyway, yeah, post any questions if you have questions. Again, that course is available on stephanieweaverartist.com. You can find it under /art-classes. And if you become a member, which starts at $4.95, it's included with that this month of December. Each month I come out with a new course, new challenge, and there's also art business related challenges and so on. In the next week, next Thursday, there is a lunch and learn where a fellow artist and designer of JMA Planner she is going to come in and talk to us about planning. That is also free, so go ahead and sign up for that. You can find that under stephanieweaverartist.com /online events. And that is again free. It's all about planning with action, so you can start getting ready. And it is a 2-part series. You've got to sign up in December, and there's a separate one to sign up in January. Okay, so enough of talking. I'm going to cue the intro, and then we're going to paint. Okay. Well, maybe I'll cue. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start painting. I've kind of got my standard palette laid out here, and I did add a couple of the colors that I know I'm gonna need. And so what I have, if you're gonna decide to do this at home, that's totally cool. So I've got my black, my ultramarine blue, this is cobalt blue, sap green, and then I've also added here emerald phthalo green. I've got alizarin crimson, burnt umber, burnt sienna, this half mess of cadmium orange, which I'm probably not going to need cadmium orange in this. I might, we'll see, but cadmium orange here, and then yellow ochre. This is cadmium yellow light, and this is cadmium yellow medium. And then I'm also going to need some naphthol red, really pretty red. And then I have some other just colors that I've been using in other paintings, and I just don't want to, remove them. And these were used in other paintings, and I think I'll be able to use those in this one as well, so I didn't bother cleaning them off my palette. This palette is just a glass palette. You can get them on Dick Blick. You can go to my website and look at not Google, but go on my website and search for recommended supplies, and this is on there. I love this thing because you can stick it in the fridge and the paints keep really well. And then I've got my whites, and then my mediums. I've gotten this handy dandy little container that looks nasty, but it works. I've got my Neo McGill. So this is like it's great for glazing. That's primarily what it's used for, but sometimes I use it just to make the paint move. That one's good. Another one is this Galkid, so I'll pour some Galkid out too. And Galkid allows the paint to stick on top of the previous layer of paint, so you can paint Alla Prima style, which is all at once and move very quickly. So that's going to come out. So I'll put a little bit of that in here. Yeah. Let me get this different one. Here's this different one. See how that's why these containers are awesome. Just reuse them. Okay, so a little bit of Galkid. A little goes a long way. Okay, so I've got that one. I usually put my mediums over here. Okay, and then of course I've got my Gamsol. And the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to take a large brush, and this is a number 7 Rosemary Evergreen Mauve. I'm going to wet it a little bit with my Gamsol. Grab some of my burnt sienna, get it kind of nice and runny. And I already have actually with my sketch here applied a workable fixative, and that's what it's actually called, is workable fixative, so that my sketch itself won't move around. Okay. And I'm just going to apply a thin layer of this burnt sienna. It's a nice warm color. So if you take any of my courses online, a lot of them are set up just like this. So you can see everything that I'm doing. My panel, my palette, and then me randomly talking. And what I'll do in my courses is actually kind of speed things up a little bit, especially when it gets a little bit mundane and you kind of get the gist of, oh, she's painting, okay. No, but when I'm not actually doing something that's like awe-inspiring, I guess, we'll kind of fast forward through that and I'll talk through it, do a voiceover, and that way you can kind of quickly go through it and digest it without having to literally watch somebody paint and watch the paint dry. I'll spit it out there eventually. Okay, that's good enough. So kind of the whole purpose of getting that initial layer down is really just to put a nice warm underlayer on so that if I miss a spot when I'm first painting, it doesn't really matter because there's going to be something shining through. That's one. And then the other is like a psychology, I think that's behind it, where you're always kind of afraid to mess up a perfect panel. Well, the perfect panel is waiting for you to do something with it. So slap some paint on it. You're not going to mess it up. And even if you do have a mess up, it erases so easy. I love these ampersand panels. That's what I'm painting on, by the way, is an ampersand panel. Okay. All right. Got that in there. Now, I'm going to occasionally talk. If I think about it, I swear I'm going to try not to sing, so you can't hear me. But Amazon Prime Music is the bomb to listen to while you're painting. And if you have any questions while I'm painting this, just feel free to pop those in and I will be glad to answer them later. Like I said, I'm going to try and paint this. I'm going to try and dedicate at least an hour and a half. I'd love to see myself paint for 2 hours. But I know the kids are coming home shortly. So it's, you know how it is. You gotta work around everybody else's schedule when you're a mom. So, mom, professional artist, cook. Whoop, I hit the wrong button. And all that stuff. So, you feel me. You get it. Tell you, this playlist 50 most played is awesome. There's songs on there I never thought I would like, you know, I didn't really listen to country before this, but apparently I like country. Let's see, where is it? Top playlists. Apparently people are playing a lot of Christmas. I don't want Christmas right now. Okay. I listened to Christmas last night. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's paint, baby. Alright, and I usually take a couple of seconds just to kind of get into it and figure out where I want to start first. Traditionalist oil painting, we start with the darks first and then we move towards the light. And I'm probably going to do a balance of that. I'm probably going to go into the medium tones first. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay. Those shadows are really calling out to me. So I'm going to make a nice dark gray and use a little bit of blue. And I am going to grab, I'll just go ahead and make a orange. When you mix complementary colors, it's going to give you a gray, a nice neutral tone. And with all the white that's going on in here, let's start with a neutral. There we go. It's like a nice blue gray. So what I did was I created an orange because I was too lazy to go over and grab an orange. Add a little bit of blue and some white, and it makes a very interesting neutral gray tone. That's what I'm going to start with. The first layer you want to keep thin. There's a process called fat over thin, and that's one of the base principles that we want to make sure we follow the whole time. So this initial layer is going to be very thin. And I'm thinking background to foreground. So what makes things fat is actually you're adding more medium to it. Everybody sees color just a little bit different, so you see colors that I don't, or maybe I'm picking up a green, you're like, we're in the same hill as she's seeing green. Everybody sees color a little bit different. That's what makes the painting so unique and so pretty for everyone. I'm just playing with this base green, gray that I created. I'm gonna have to get a little tight ultramarine blue here. Getting tangled up in the wires in my studio. You notice I'm focusing a lot on the shadows right now. Okay. Some blue in that. Just making a little bit lighter of a gray. A little bigger brush. Grab a little bit of my Galkyd. So this initial layer, all I'm really trying to do is just block things in, just block in the basic shapes and values that I see. This is, background is going to have less importance to me than anything else. So if you're able to see really close here, I can still see some of my lines back here, and I'm fine with that. So like I said, I'm keeping this initial layer pretty thin, because I paint in layers. And like right now I'm smoothing down this layer because I'm not ready for peaks in my paint yet. I reserve the peaks for the very last bit, and it ensures the integrity of the paint over a longer period of time. Otherwise it'll have archival issues and buckling issues, paint peeling issues. So, let's see. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm making a warmer gray. I took some of my cobalt blue and some of the cadmium yellow, cadmium orange medium, and I made it a warmer gray. So then start making the white. Kind of shadow right there I need to take care of. And that will be the shadow of the Candy Cane. Right now it looks like a blob of mess, but every single painting has an ugly stage. So, if you've been doing it a while, you can see the ugly stage and continue to push past it. Candy canes are a little bit tricky because of the white and the red. So both titanium white and this naphthol red take a really kind of a long time to dry if you're using them straight from the tube. So candy canes, regardless, are something that you got to do in multiple layers. So for this one, I'm okay if the pink and the red, pink and the white, the red and the white make a little bit of pink because I know I'm going to go back over it with defining colors. So for now, I'm going to focus on the shadows. So I know there's a shadow underneath. The candy cane. And they meet about there. Where they meet is going to be the darkest. I need to get more ultramarine blue out. I might add a little bit of alizarin crimson to that mixture. I'll grab a little purple. This is shadow. Okay. I like to mix some of the colors that I've already used. It creates a very harmonious palette. I can continue to use those colors. Notice I haven't really gotten any of the red in there yet. What I'm going to let happen is I'm going to let this rest. Let the paint kind of rest. And then I'm going to move on to other areas. And then when I come back, I'll be able to add a little bit of red there. And at least for the first layer. I have a monitor up here so I can see what I'm painting down here. That way it puts it like 20 feet away instead of having to back up and all that stuff. It's handy. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of light up in here. Okay. When I set up the still life, I did actually put the hot chocolate on the plate itself. It was a big plate. Okay. I also have on here some asphaltum. It's a nice warm brown. I'll mix it with a little bit of a more opaque brown. Let's start adding in the chocolate pieces here. And I don't think I can delay any longer. I gotta get the ultramarine blue. Add a little bit of that ultramarine blue to my brown here. Make a really nice, rich, dark brown. For the little Hershey Kisses tags, I'm going to wait on those for the very last. Because that's one of those details that if I painted now, it would just be a waste of time. Same with all the little sprinkles on top of this. All right, let's see what we got. So it's kind of coming along. Okay, we have the middle. This is where this little pile of stuff that I've used in another painting is going to come in handy. I'm just going to drop that in there. I'm okay if it blends in a little bit. So this is just the first layer. Just kind of blocking it in. Little cakes, and by the way, when I made this still life, those cakes are disgusting. They're like, yeah, but they're cute. They look good. Taste bad, really, really bad. My opinion. My daughter loved them, so whatever. What do I know? I didn't know I wouldn't eat them again. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna use some of this. I'm gonna tone it down just a touch. Here, because this side is in shadow. And it looks like it's got a little green to it. I might just add a little green. That looks like it has green to me in it anyway. Probably from the food coloring. It's gross. Look good though. Alright. Yeah, that's a decent color. They kind of look like they would be pedophore type things, but they're really not. Okay. Okay. Well, I decided not to use the fork, so like this is my still life that I put together. I don't like that fork. I'm starting to rethink. I might add that little peak of material in there is kind of interesting. So might do it. And I think I need something over in here. Maybe I just need to darken that up a little bit. Like I said in the beginning, one of the things I was doing, instead of going full on darks and adding in all my darkest darks, I'm gonna keep it kind of the medium area and to figure out where I want to push the darks and where I want to, you know, pull the lights. Because the overall layout of this is really good, but I want to play with it a little bit more with the light. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of the reds and greens, but I'm going to finish with the plate here first. So I'm going to be making very light, warm gray, because I'm not quite ready to go the lightest of lights yet. And it's got a shadow, nice shadow right there, where the plate kind of comes in. And then we got our reds and the brown, greens. So one of the things I love about painting white plates, and whenever I put the still life together, they reflect all the colors. So I can see some greens, I can see some reds. It makes it way more interesting. I think I need to make my cake just a little bit. No, the cake is good. This is what I need to do. Okay, there we go. Looks kind of fuzzy up there. Okay, I'll smooth out any peaks. White. All right, I think it's gonna be, all right, might as well. Another color that I have on here is called Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray has a little bit, it's like blackish gray, blackish blue, and so it makes kind of a nice, quick way to make blue-gray dark here. With the foil of these things, you can really just kind of go hodgepodge with it. Leaving some areas lighter and leaving some areas darker, and I'm just kind of going in between. Wow, that is really fuzzy up there. Why? Where is it? Could be this thing. Sometimes that interferes. Ugh, it totally interfered. Okay. Well, now you can see it better. Okay. It's gonna be I'll come back through and add some more highlights to that. And grab some of the alizarin crimson and my Naphthol red. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more of that Payne's gray. Make a totally really darkish red right here. The shadows happen. And this one I'm using a number 1 Rosemary and Company Evergreen Long Flat. And kind of be a little bit purposeful about where put the red. I'm going to grab some of my Galkid with this Naphthol red because I want it to dry a little bit faster than what it would if I were just using straight up Naphthol red. I'm just going to kind of put it in here, hodgepodge, still kind of keeping it thin. I'm not too worried about getting it exactly like the picture, because if I wanted the picture, I would just print out the picture. Give it an indication so I know where the light is coming from. And if I pick up some of the darker color, that's fine. That just really helps give it that three-dimensional look and that transition from light to dark. For that green, I brought in this emerald phthalo green. It's a real pretty, very Christmassy green. But to darken it up, I'm going to grab some of this ultramarine blue and do that for the dark areas. I'm just looking at my reference image. These reference images are included with the course. So if you want to make your own still life, you can, or you can also use my images. I'm gonna take some of this phthalo emerald green with a little bit of cadmium yellow to it. That's the cadmium yellow medium. I'm sorry, light. Let's see, what am I looking at here? Okay. Okie dokie. I'm gonna go ahead and get in there. So I am gonna have to, how long have I been doing this? Only about 45 minutes. Okay, so okay. I'll go ahead and add in this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make the lip of the napkin here. So it's gonna hide that. I'm fine with bringing in those colors. I think it looks kind of neat. Okay. I'm looking at my reference image. I had to put the image down below because it was interfering with, yeah, the image. What's this? Okay. Let's go to the edge. And we've got some cloth here. Okay. Okay, this is more the medium tone. Okay, that made that a little more interesting, but it's definitely not done. All right. Sweet. Okay, need some shadows over in here. And this one, so I think I'm gonna kind of get rid of one of those. There we go. So even though you take pictures of still life, you can still edit in the actual painting, which is awesome. I do it all the time. Okay. Okay. Got a nice first base layer with all of the probably that medium to dark tones in there. And now, and that took not long. Okay, but I know I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to darken up this side. I'm also going to darken up the shadow here, intensify some of the lights to really kind of bring your focus back into here. And then this definitely needs more highlights. I'm going to save all the sprinkles, all the ultra highlights for very, very last. So, okay. All right. We got some titanium white. Right on that. I'm gonna grab a seat. I get asked that a lot. Do I stand up the whole time? Nope. So I'm gonna lower my easel a little bit. All right. One of the things I'm also going to do is when I get into the whites, I'm going to add a touch of this red to it. So much, so little of a touch that you can barely even see it. The reason is I found a while ago just adding a little tiny touch of the white to the, the red to the white. It seems to just make it pop a little bit more. All right, and I'm still going to be using just my Galkid, so it'll dry and stick to the previous layer. Okay, this paint in the background is still wet, but it's had enough time to rest that it should take this next layer pretty well. And still blend just ever so slightly. So I just grabbed a little bit of ultramarine blue and some of the asphaltum. Mixed it in with a little bit of white. Just kind of makes a nice blue shadow here. Little wires are really kind of annoying to work around on the video cameras. But do what can do, I guess. Sophie and Bacon say hi. Wish I could play music for you guys. Let's turn on some music and grab a cup of coffee. And what? This is one of the still life images that I've made available in a course. It's called The Complete Life Cycle of Setting Up a Still Life. Show you how to make a white box and use it in 3 different ways. It's pretty cool. Using household, like just using a box that you already have around your house. You don't need to buy anything fancy. It takes up space. Know what I mean? And take up space, make it paintings. Your paintings. Handle just, it is that wide, okay. That's looking decent. What I'm thinking about is all the light reflecting the colors, and it's not really uber present in the white of the plate. That's where we get to make things a little bit better. And I should be using probably a bigger brush, but I'm being a little bit lazy. That's a little too strong. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Shit. Sorry. Thought I was supposed to pass on to you too. I don't know. Little cord got in the way. Alright, look at this still life a little bit better. Alright. we go. There we go. Got those right. I like doing this when it's still wet so it pulls in all those colors. Just kind of put down my brush and twirl it. What I'm looking for is the whitest parts of the candy cane. I'm just kind of going in and adding in those little twirls. So I'm still continuing to look at my monitor. That gives me like the 15 feet away look. So I can continue to set and do this the lazy way. Shouldn't say lazy, it's smart. Gently blending and make sure I'm reflecting colors, keeping some soft edges. On the soft edge right there. I'm going to put a hard edge over here. Got some nice reflective light happening on it. Good. Okay. Some nice reflections over here. Just a little bit. Yeah. It's come together, and I think I've been at this. Oh wow, it's like 3 o'clock. Oh, I want to keep painting. Let's see. It's coming along pretty well. I think I might go ahead and start getting a little bit of the detail of the lace in here. The reason why is I like how it's pulling in some of these other colors. And I still want to keep messing with it while it's wet. So those things will kind of naturally blend together without having me to create various tones. Yep, that's cool. Grab a little bit of my Galkin so it sticks to the previous layer here. There we go. I'm just kind of guessing a little bit here. I don't have this drawn in. Actually, I painted it in because I didn't know I really wanted it. until I started painting. The material has a really translucent effect I'm kind of liking. It's not the way the actual still life was, but I like it. Like I can make this into this lace right here. Like you can see the Hershey Kiss behind it. I like that. What I'm doing right now is effectively just scumbling on the white. Scumbling is just lightly touching it on. So it just so the paint just barely kind of on the surface of it. Okay. Kind of put this yellow in here. Okay. Because I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting underneath it, I'm gonna prop it up here. Okay. Actually, let me do this other thing. I generally don't like using these little things like that, but okay, I'll do it this time. Okay. I have to fix that. Okay, now I'm definitely gonna have to wait until the second layer to refine, because it's just blending too much. And then come back. I'd like to add some pink into that. I can see the reflection of that in here, so I'm gonna add that while I'm here. So I'll grab some of the Naphthol red, a little bit of the ultramarine blue. Go ahead and add some of that Hershey Kiss. And I'm going to do the same to this one over here. So this one's standing upright. And this one actually has a little bit of a Hershey Kiss back there, but you can't really tell what it is. So I'm going to get rid of that and make it into the chocolate cake. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add a few of those little sprinkles on that, because I can. Okay. Okay. And I might as well go ahead and add a little bit of indication of the candies on top. These are going to be in shadow over here. But if I don't like it, then I'll just go over it. It's not a big deal. And that's a good start for that. Okay. Just a little bit more dark on this Hershey Kiss right here. On the wrapper. It's using Payne's Gray. Okay, and that's a good start. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I might come back on tomorrow morning and before I teach oil painting live on in my private paint group. If that's something that you're interested in doing, just email me and we'll have a discussion. My oil painting group meets online every Wednesday night and every Friday. You get to choose one or both, whatever works for your schedule, because you know we're all adults, we kind of get what's going on in the world. And so, but yeah, if you are into painting and it's something that you want to learn how to do or do more of in an environment that is very supportive, I keep it less than 10 students at all time, and I do have some openings right now. So if you are interested in learning how to oil paint or be part of a group that gets together and paints together, then email me at hello@stephanieweaverartist.com. That's hello@stephanieweaverartist.com, and we'll have a discussion. Okay? So if you want to kind of see the ending of this, feel free to join me tomorrow morning, and I'm going to keep on working on my still life. So until next time, you guys stay safe, happy, and healthy, and happy painting. Bye!